This is the way to do it. This is the way to do it. This is the way to do it. This is the way to do it.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Youth in Action, a show where we love to celebrate and embrace young people who are making bold, big steps. And today we are having a photographer, not just a photographer, a female photographer who has carved a niche in wedding photography beyond general photography. Sophia, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Cheryl. I'm so glad to be in your show. So my name is Lillian Sophie Ochen, though Sophie isn't in the ID. Sophie, I got it from baptism, and it's the name that I've chosen from my brand name because it's the name that initiated me to Christianity. So I chose to go with it. So I learned in St. Francis Rangala Girls, that is in high school. Yes, then campus, I did my studies at Masai Mara University. I think that's where I started exploring different things that I wanted to do in life. I've actually explored a couple of things. That is photography. I was a makeup artist before photography. And I get to find all of them interesting. Yes.
So uko Masai Mara, what did you study in Masai Mara? And what did you want to become before photography came in the picture?
So before photography came in the picture, my career path was to be a gynecologist. Yes, then unfortunately things took a different turn. Then I went to Masai Mara, I did wildlife management. Now, if you see my life, everything is just contradictory.
He wanted to be a gynecologist.
Yes, wildlife management, then all of a sudden I'm a photographer, I'm a makeup artist. But all in all, it's so interesting. It's very, very interesting.
At what point did you make that bold shift and you're like, okay, so now my title is photographer now?
That bold shift came back when there's a contract I was doing back then. It ended. So that bold title didn't come easy. So I first was doing employments, vibarua hapa pale. Mostly I was doing what's called makeup. I was doing makeup. So photography came in that I was so desperate to pay bills. No job, but the bills are piling. So I saw somebody posting that they needed a female photographer, but I wasn't really going there just because that I'm passionate about photography. I was like, I need my bills to be paid. So I did my interview, started my job with zero skills. I'm always grateful for that industry giving me that opportunity to start to learn photography from scratch, despite having no skills and working at the same time being paid. I'm so grateful for Sammy Pics Studio. It is what gave me this platform to start and to continue my journey. So that's how I started photography. At first, it wasn't passion at all. It was like, I need my bills to be paid. Yes. So
very,
that's how.
very interesting.
Yeah.
An interesting flow of events, I'd say. You are a female photographer. That is nice to see as well. And also, you were saying that when they were looking for a photographer, they were like, I want a female photographer.
Yes.
And we see a lot of people really want female photographers.
Yeah.
Let's say someone is religious, they're like, I don't want to have a guy take my pictures. I do want to have a female photographer.
Yes,
how are you
absolutely.
finding it being a female in this industry that for a long time has been dominated by men that we see taking pictures, but now you're a lady? How is it?
So this industry, being a lady, I feel like at first it was really difficult to maneuver because being my introverted side, I wasn't used to talking to people that much. But getting to interact with ladies, actually it's more interesting because some ladies are really reserved. For example, let's say the Muslim community. At their weddings, they don't take their photos so much with the males, especially at the reception. So you get that ladies will stand a higher chance for that opportunity. Another thing being a lady is attention to detail. I think that's what it's giving us, that platform to grow.
Let's get into wedding photography, because that is a thing that you would say, would you call it your niche right now?
Yeah, it's my niche right now.
How did you get into wedding photography and not these other types of photography?
So wedding photography, how I got into it, I really don't have any specific reason, but I was motivated by money. Let me
It's being honest, brutally honest.
yeah, let me tell you, this whole photography thing, before it became a passion, it was solely driven by money. So I used to look at people's rate card before, and I'm like, this is what people charge. So I used to imagine that
You're receiving the big
you're
money.
receiving the big money, but that's not always the case, though. But it became a passion when I got my very first project. I was very scared to do it. So I was like, let me see how wedding goes and experience how weddings are. I've never been into a wedding since my childhood. So I was like, I want to explore this sector, and let me go explore this sector. And the best thing about wedding photography is capturing those emotions, those raw emotions when two people are getting together, the families letting go of each and every individual. Like, there's that calm moment. I can't even explain it. Sometimes I do cry myself at events while clicking that photo. So I can't explain that moment, but that moment is so sacred and special. I think that's what I love more about weddings. Other than the money part, that's what I love more about weddings, that emotion that it brings. There's something about it. It's hard to explain.
What are the key moments that you must take a shot of when you're doing wedding photography? Do you have a plan? You're like, okay, they're walking to the altar, I have to get a shot, they're saying the vows. What are the key moments that you're like, nisipochukua hii picha, client
Yeah.
ataniuliza, where were you when this part was happening? Because you cannot redo the whole
Yeah,
ceremony.
true. Actually, the key moments, number one, before you go to the key moments, planning is a priority. Planning, you as a photographer and the client also. So you see, before you take that contract, you have to agree with the client. This is what happens at the wedding. This is how the process goes. The client will also add a few things. I want this and this to be done. I want these moments to be captured. I want so and so to be captured. So that one, you liaise with the client so that you can get every moment. But as for me as a photographer, the key moments to capture are the details. Number one, during the preparation. That time, the parents are speaking to the kids before even the altar part. So there's always the first look where the groom meets the bride with for the first time in a wedding dress. That is that moment is priceless. So apart from that, there's the aisle where they're exchanging their vows and rings. At the reception there's a lot. There's a lot. Like, there's no specific. You just have to be on the radar. Anytime you see a chance, you take a shot, but you have at the same time to be intentional about it, because you can take shots, but there's nothing you've done at the end of the day. There are no moments. So it's all about being intentional when you're on ground.
How have you trained your eyes to notice this is a shot I must take? This is something I am taking. And not just like taking everything. Unapata you have like a million pictures, but nothing tells a story. Nothing is
True.
unique.
So mine is a bit complicated, but one thing, I don't know, I'm always just, you see, when you're on the field, you have to be alert, number one. So I'm that person where I'm not specific about a moment, but I will just be looking, observation. I think I'm more of observant. So I'll just be looking at you and I'm like, no, wait a minute, this is a shot. This is a shot. So if it's something that has passed and it's not busy, it's not something that people are moving around, I'll be like, let's redo whatever you just did. Yeah, that's for the photography part. But for the video, the cameras are just rolling. Yeah. But for the photos, I'll be like, this is it. And mostly what I'm motivated by is nature when it comes to wedding photography. I like things that involve more nature. Yeah, I'm very creative with nature.
Well, when you've said that, sometimes when you see a shot and you're like, okay, this is something that has already happened, and then you tell them redo. Does it come out exactly the way you saw it the first time? Also, some don't have attention because now they know that someone is watching.
It depends on the situation. If it's in the preparation room, most of the time it comes out as it was. Yeah, but you as the camera person, you should be ready. Lazima ukue chonjo. You can't be telling them to redo everything.
All the time.
Yeah, especially now, let's have a scenario where you are at maybe the altar or the reception. That's something you can't tell them to redo.
Like
no, exactly. No, that won't be effective, kidogo. So you have to be on the radar. You be sharp and listen and be observant.
the fact that you do wedding photography, I just know it's one of those emotional high pressure.
Yeah.
How do you do it? Because now you see a lot of umeenda event and cameraman, you camera lady, cameraman, you cannot even eat because now you are needed all the time. Client junior anakwambia, why did you take that shot? That was your job. Like how is it? How do you ensure you as the photographer, your needs are met, you are not overworked, you're not tired, and you're still getting quality work as well?
So that's where about intentional shooting comes in. And number one, it's managing your field. Like when you're in the field, manage yourself. Ensure, like the person you have in the field, you can do exchange. Maybe let's say, for example, it's that time to eat. We have tools like tripods, like gimbals and others. So you see, those are the tools that come in handy when you're in the field. So that when you take a break, maybe let's say like a video keeps rolling, you see. So you have to have a plan where you go with somebody in the field, because this work you can't do it alone. You absolutely need someone. So you can literally take turns. So as I go and eat, the other party takes the shot. So I do quickly. So time management is also a thing. I can't sit down there and eat like a slay queen, and I know there are some things I need to do. So time management is always a priority. So ni kujipanga like generally.
Mention tools. How important is equipment when you're starting out as a photographer? Because someone may be like, you go online and you look at the prices of cameras, you're like, I cannot afford this. You look at the prices of all the gimbal, you're like, I cannot afford this. And someone is interested, they want to get into photography or videography, but then they don't know where to start. How important is equipment?
So equipment, to be honest, it's 100% important. Why? These are the tools. For photography to come to life, this is what you need. My other point is, they're not necessarily important when you're starting out. Important in the aspect that you don't have to buy expensive tools when you don't have the skills. So I always advise people that most of the time before you get the tool, because it's really expensive and there's no need you buy an expensive tool just to stay with it in the house. Sometimes solve that skill. Have that skill. Is it videography? Is it photography? You can hire out a camera. Actually, cameras are found everywhere nowadays. You can hire it out. You can hire from somebody, practice. Then from there, you can decide now what camera or what tool is suitable for you. Because sometimes you can find that maybe, let's say, for example, like a Canon camera. You buy a Canon camera at 100,000, only to find out later, depending on your nature and depending on your wants, that's not the camera you want. Now you have to sell it again or dispose it so you can buy another one. So I always advise people, get the skill first, know different cameras through hiring. So from there is when you can buy now the camera of your choice. And definitely for you to buy that camera, you have to get some work, save for it, then buy. Pesa ikuji chuni kwa mti.
Let us talk about the financial aspect, the money aspect. Because now there's no way you can be doing something that you're passionate about, but you're not getting money out of it. Inakani kama unafanya zero work. So as a photographer, what are the key things you charge? Because sometimes mtu anaweza kaa aseme, but you're just there with the camera, you're taking a shot. Mbona unanichaji pesa mingi? What are you charging ukiwekea mtu package? You're like, okay, for me, I do charge this per picture. I do charge this per day. And why hii amount inakaa hivi? What are the key things you're charging hapa ndani?
Hey, are we ready to go into details? So normally photography, when it comes to charging, I believe not most photographers know this, but when you're charging, apart from your time, most people just say it's about time and the service, but those are not the only thing. Time, service, the experience, there's after edits, there's storage, there's also equipment in it. So you see, that's a wide range. But we try to reach people's expectation, because if we go wider into that aspect, we'll end up charging huge chunks of money. But people want to have memorable moments at their at the scope of their budget, kind of, you see. Because you can't be charging, you see, the quality of work also do matters. Yeah, so that's why I always tell my clients, it's not that I'm just coming to take a photo. I'm just not standing there with the camera. I'm coming there to take like moments that can never be repeated anywhere. maybe behind closed doors, sour. But for you to remember those moments, that's an experience. How did you experience that photography session? And when unaikumbuka ni through seeing those pictures. That's when you'll be like, now this was an experience. Unaona? Then the quality of work is another thing. My time being there, it's another thing on its own. Unaona?
Spending hours in editing.
Hours in editing, don't even talk about it. It's more than the time you take shooting. You see, you can even take, let's say in a day, even 10 hours, depending on what you're editing. Editing now is the most work, and most of the time you get that as photographers, especially in Kenya, we are not paid for that sector. Most of the time we just charge for the time, the experience, and the quality of work, but the editing, we are not paid.
And also, how do you as a photographer manage your finances so that when a money to aside, kamera ikiharibika, you can sort it because that's now your source of income.
Yeah.
How do you manage to do that?
That's another difficult part, especially if you're starting. But one thing about managing finances, I learned the hard way though. It's about taking accountability. When it comes to your finances, now, si tulisema we were driven by money. So you have to take accountability for everything. You see, number one is record keeping. Know the difference between your expenses and your income. So from there, you'll be able to manage your money with what you're spending, what you're using. Because emergencies hukuja, kamera itaanguka chini leo. Wewe pesa inaingia ukikula nayo KFC kila siku. Si kitakuramba. Kitakuramba. You see, the editing machines are another thing. You see, so managing finances, I can say right now I don't have so much experience. I'm learning as I go, but it's all about taking accountability. And that starts with record keeping. Like keep every record of the money you get.
So what I'm getting is, as a photographer, isikwe unakula tu pesa yote. So do you have a strategy where the money comes and then you're like, okay, this is an amount I'm paying myself for the labor.
Yes.
This is an amount that goes to me reinvesting in my work.
Yeah.
Is that something that you incorporate?
Actually, that's really important. But in the first 3 years of business, hakuna kujilipa. Hakuna kujilipa. Hakuna kujilipa. Almost, I think, almost 3/4 of it goes into the business. Like the first 3 years of business, trust me, wanzange kukula profits. So most of it goes into business. New equipments unataka. Sema unaishi uishi kwa mzazi, you have to pay rent. Unaona? Pay your work has to go on. Una hire equipments. You need extra force. Those people need to be paid. You see, so the first 3 years of business before ijipe, hakunanga kukula unakula. Hakuna.
Do you have like a specific photo you've taken that was like really touched your heart? Inaweza kuwa either in general photography or like in wedding photography, where you're like, okay, I'm taking this nini and my emotions are in and I'm so locked in and I love what I'm doing.
Oh God, in weddings a lot. In weddings a lot. I don't want to remember because my tears are always here. But I don't know if I'm so much of an emotional person. It's because I enjoy the moment, but I get carried away by emotions sana sana kwa weddings. Like you can think I'm part of them.
It's just the one.
Yes, there are a couple of photos actually. I have them in my gallery. Even a video. There's a video that I did and it was
Remarkable.
it was fantastic. It was my friend's. It was this lady was my high school mate. Yeah. So she was like, girl, I've seen you doing photography and my wedding is this day, and I'm like, okay, I can do it. By the most of the weddings I've done are ladies from my high school. Yeah.
But then how important is support from the people that you know? Instead of nakujua and then I go tafuta someone from, I don't know, somewhere else, from people that you know coming and saying, you know, I see what you're doing and I do want you to do this for me.
Trust me, it's something that I never expected because we had this notion that you will be supported by strangers the most. But the more clients I was getting are people like from my high school, and I'm like, okay, like the first big gigs, people from my high school, and I'm like, okay, Now this tells me something. This just, it means more than just photography to me. Yeah.
What keeps you inspired creatively as a photographer?
Let me say the raw moments. Like, it doesn't have to be planned. Plus, I never have like let's say specific thing that I want to do. You see, when you're a creative, you have to be on the go. I can decide even to be creative with this ground that we are in. So it's more of, apart from passion, growth, it's more of just creating the moments, some just raw and unfiltered.
What are some of the challenges you've faced as a photographer?
Hey, the
So
challenges I
far.
faced. Kai, sasa hapa ni mingi. But I'll mention a few. One of the challenges I faced starting out was gear. I am new to this. I don't have any gear. So I'm like, okay, how am I going to start? So at first, there was a friend of mine who used to help me with the gear. So from then is when I knew Sasa, you can hire out gears and whatnot. Yeah, so that was that was the first big challenge, gear. Another challenge was charging. I really didn't know how to charge because the photographers I've interacted with are really big photographers. I look at the red cards and I'm like, does my brand, does my skill match this? Plus, yeah. Plus, when it comes to pricing, you have to price according to where you are at the moment. You can't, like, I can't compare to myself to somebody who charges 400k. Me nakuja tu from nowhere and I charge 400k pia. But you have to charge your worth at the same time. Another challenge was finding clients, was finding now my community. But I realized that is not much of a big deal as long as I now build a brand. I had to start on building a brand because I just started as a regular photographer, nothing much.
Yes, I'm just gonna ask you right off the bat, as a photographer, do you think everything is aesthetic and needs to be taken as a shot?
Aesthetic.
Yes.
Oh yes.
You see a stone and you're like, I just wanna take
It's aesthetic as long as it looks aesthetically pleasing. You don't waste time. You don't waste time, and that's what makes photography interesting, actually. And photography, you can create something so plain to be something so beautiful. I think that's the beauty of photography. When it comes to photography, it's now your eye. Yeah, it's now your eye.
Can you advise like someone, a young person who anaona akiingia photography, kwanza anaona she's, maybe it's a lady ama a guy, they're like, okay, I'm interested in getting into photography. What can you tell them? Just looking at that camera.
So what I can advise young photographers is, don't be scared. Don't have the what if mentality. Just go for it, get a skill, learn different sets of editing, different cameras. Don't be scared to do anything. I think that's what I can say for now. Just don't be scared, go for it. From there is when you'll know if it's your thing or not.
Thank you so much, Sophia Clicks Photography, for coming on the
Uh-huh.
show. Can you tell people where they can find you on social media as well?
So where you can find me on social media is via Instagram, Sophia Clicks and Co. That's the main channel. Then Weddings by Sophia, and TikTok, Sophia Clicks Photography. Same to YouTube, Sophia Clicks Photography.
Okay, sawa sawa. There you have it. Don't be scared in whatever you want to do. And also, if you see something and you think it's aesthetic, whether you decide to capture it with your eyes or with your camera or with your phone, it's something that you can do. If it's aesthetic, just take the shot. This has been Youth in Action. I'm your host, Cheryl. See you next week. Bye.
This is the way to do it. This is the way to do it. This is the way.